Don't you want some attachment? Some love?
From a stud?
Well, then why are you with Clark?
He's a wonderful lover.
Clark's a homosexual.
He's creative.
Rita, don't you think the basis of a relationship should be some mutual understanding? Or...
Listen, Leela, this entire society is based on the phallic principle.
No, we always agreed to be absolutely honest with each other. It wouldn't have been very honest if you had left without letting me know until the last minute. Yes, that would have been cruel. This way I had time to get used to the idea and to understand.
Doesn't I'm Willie Loman, and you're Biff Loman.
Pop, I'm not a leader of men, and neither are you. You were never anything but a hard-working drummer who landed in the ash can like all the rest of them. I'm $1 an hour, Willie. I tried 7 states and couldn't raise it. $1 an hour. Do you gather my meaning?
Vengeful, spiteful.
I'm nothing, Pop. I'm nothing. Can't you understand that?
That fool, can't you keep your mouth shut? We may hate you for what you've done to us here this time, but we remember the other times when you brought kindness and laughter instead of death. We don't want to know anything that will make us help send you to the chair.
Oh, shut up, you yellow faker. Can't you face a thing? Wouldn't I deserve the chair, too, if I... It's worse if you kill someone and they have to go on living. I'd welcome the chair. I'd wipe it out. It'd square me with myself.
I wish you'd get rid of that bastard, Larry. I can't have him pretending there's anything in common between him and me. It's what's in your heart that counts.
Oh, what the hell do you think? Anybody's got it better than you? I never had a home either. I'm looking, too.
So what?
So you're it. You're home for me, a place to live. That's the whole parade. Sickness eating out your heart. Sometimes you meet a girl, she stops it. That's love. So take a chance. Be with me, Paradise. What's to lose?
My pride.
What the hell do you want? Say the word and I'll tango on a dime. Don't give me ice when your heart's on fire.
Where are the periods, the colons, the semicolons, the question marks? Where?
Oh, he's just writing, mister.
Perhaps he's put all the punctuation on the last page. No, I do not see them. In the middle, perhaps. They must be stored in the middle. No, they are not in the middle. So I will shake the pages. Let's see if they fall out.
Look up, speak nicely, and don't twiddle your fingers.
We're all mad.
The rule is jam yesterday, jam tomorrow, but never jam today.
Mine is a long and a sad tale.
Why do you call it sad?
Let me sing you a song. Everybody who's heard me sing it, either it brings tears to their eyes or else...
Or else what?
Or else it doesn't, you know.
Get thee to a nunnery. Why wouldst thou be a breeder of sinners? I am myself indifferent, honest, but yet I could accuse me of such things that it were better my mother had not borne me. I'm very proud, revengeful, ambitious, with more offenses at my beck than I have thoughts to put them in, imagination to give them shape, or time to act them in. What should such fellows as I do, crawling between heaven and earth? We are arrant knaves all. Believe, none of us!
Oh, he's coming for me. This is what I was born to do. This is for Mom and Dad. This is for Scott. This is for Mrs. McElroy. This is for me. I'm here. I'm home. I'm safe.
Tom? Tom? We can't start dinner without you. Tom? You know, I had the funniest experience in church last Sunday. The church was crowded, except for one little pew way down front, and that was just one little woman. I smiled very sweetly at her, and I said, "Excuse me, would you mind if we shared this pew?" "I certainly would," she said. "This space is rented." You know, that's the first time I ever knew that the Lord rented space. These northern Episcopalians. I understand the southern Episcopalians, but these northern ones, not. Honey, don't push your food with your fingers. You want to push your food with something, use a crust of bread. You must chew your food. Animals have secretions in their stomachs which enable them to digest their food without mastication, but human beings must chew their food before they swallow it down. A well-cooked meal has many delicate flavors that have to be held in the mouth for appreciation, not just gulped down. So chew, chew, chew. Don't you want to give your salivary glands a chance to function?
Mother, I have not enjoyed one bite of this dinner because of your constant directions on how to eat it. It's you that make me rush through meals with your hawk-like attention to every bite I take. It's disgusting. All this talk about salivary glands, animal secretions, mastication.
Temperament, like a metropolitan star. You aren't excused from this table.
I'm getting a cigarette.
You smoke too much.
Mother, I'll bring in the coffee.
No, you sit down. I'm going to be the houseboy today, and you're going to be the lady.
I am already up.
Resume your seat. Resume your seat. You keep yourself fresh and pretty for the gentlemen callers.
I'm not expecting any gentlemen callers.
Well, the nice thing about them is they come when they're least expected. Well, I remember one Sunday afternoon in Blue Mountain when your mother was a girl.
I know what's coming now.
Yes, but let her tell it.
Again?
She loves to tell it.
I remember one Sunday afternoon in Blue Mountain when your mother was a girl, she received 17 gentlemen callers. While sometimes there weren't chairs enough to accommodate them all, and we had to send the houseboy over to the parish house to fetch the folding chairs.
How did you entertain all those gentlemen callers?
Well, I happen to understand the art of conversation.
I bet you could talk.
Well, I could. All the girls in my day could, I tell you.
Yes?
Well, they knew how to entertain their gentlemen callers. Wasn't enough for a girl to be possessed of a pretty face and a graceful figure. Although I wasn't slighted in other respect. She also needed to have a nimble wit and a tongue to meet all occasions.
What did you talk about?
Well, we talk about things of importance going on in the world. Never anything common or coarse or vulgar. My callers were gentlemen, all. Some of the most prominent men on the Mississippi Delta, planters and sons of planters. There was young Champ Laughlin. He later became vice president of the Delta Planters Bank. And Hadley Stevenson. He was drowned in Moon Lake. My goodness, he certainly left his widow well provided for. $150,000 in government bonds. And the Coutret brothers, Wesley and Bates. Bates was one of my own bright particular beaux. But he got in a quarrel with that wild Wainwright boy, and they shot it out on the floor of Moon Lake Casino. Bates was shot through the stomach and died in the ambulance on his way to Memphis. He certainly left his widow well provided for, too. 8,000 to 10,000 acres, no less. He never loved that woman. She just caught him on the rebound. My picture was found on him the night he died. Oh, and that boy. That every girl in the Delta was simply setting her cap for. That beautiful, brilliant young Fitzhugh boy from Greene County.
Would he leave his widow?
They never married. What's the matter with you? You talk as though all my old admirers had turned up their toes to the daisies.
Isn't this the first you've mentioned that still survives?
He made an awful lot of money. Went north to Wall Street, made a fortune. He had the Midas touch. Everything that boy touched just turned to gold. And I could have been Mrs. J. Duncan Fitzhugh, mind you. But what did I do? I just went out of my way and picked your father.
Mother, let me clear the table.
No. You go in front. Study your typewriter chart or practice your shorthand a little. Stay fresh and pretty. It's almost time for our gentlemen callers to start arriving. How many do you think we're going to entertain this evening?
I don't believe that we're going to be receiving any, Mother.
Not any. Not one gentleman caller. Why, you must be joking. What's the matter? Has there been a flood or a tornado or something?
It's not a flood and it isn't a tornado. I'm just not popular like you were in Blue Mountain, Mother. Mother's afraid that I'm going to be an old maid. No, Mother. I was just...
I know. You were just practicing your typing, I suppose.
Yes.
Deception, deception, deception.
How was the DAR meeting, Mother?
DAR meeting?
Didn't you go to the DAR meeting?
No, I didn't go to any DAR meeting. I didn't have the strength. I didn't have the courage. I just wanted to find a hole in the ground and crawl in it and stay there for the rest of my entire life.
Well, why are you doing that?
Why? How old are you, Laura?
Mother, you know my age.
I was under the impression that you were an adult, but evidently I was very much mistaken.
Please don't stare at me, Mother.
What is going to become of us? What is the future?
Something happened, Mother. Mother, has something happened?
I'll be all right in a minute. I'm just bewildered by life.
Mother, I wish you would tell me what's happened.
I went to the DAR this afternoon, as you know. I was to be inducted as an officer. I stopped by at Rubicam's Business College to tell them about your cold and ask how you were progressing down there. Oh, yes. Oh. I went straight to your typing instructor and introduced myself as your mother. She didn't even know who you were. Wingfield, she said. We don't have any such scholar enrolled in this school. I assured her she did. I said, my daughter Laura's been coming to classes here since early January. Well, I don't know, she said, unless you mean that terribly shy little girl who dropped out of school after a few days. No, I said, I don't mean her. I mean my daughter Laura, who's been coming here every single day for the past 6 weeks. Excuse me, she said. And she took down the attendance book. And there was your name. Unmistakable. And all the dates you'd been absent. I still told her she was wrong. I still said there must have been some mistake. There must have been some mix-up in the record. No, she said, no, I remember her perfectly now. She was so shy, and her hands trembled so that her fingers couldn't touch the right keys. When we gave a speed test, she just broke down completely, was sick at the stomach, and had to be carried to the washroom. After that, she never came back. We telephoned the house every single day, but we never got any answer. That was while I was working all day long. I was posted down at that department store demonstrating those. Oh, I felt so weak I couldn't stand up. I had to sit down while they got me a glass of water. $50 tuition. I don't care about the money so much. But all my hopes for any kind of future for you going up the spout, just going up the spout. Like, don't do that, Laura. Don't play that big roller. What have you been doing every day when you're going out of the house pretending that you were going to Rubicam's Business College?
I've just been going out walking.
That's not true.
Yes, it is, Mother. I've just been walking.
Walking? Walking? Deliberately caught pneumonia in that light coat? Where did you walk to, Laura?
All sorts of places, mostly in the park.
Even after you started catching that cold?
It was the lesser of two evils, Mother. I couldn't go back. I threw up on the floor.
From 7:30 till after 5 every day. You mean to tell me you walked around in the park because you wanted to make me think that you were going to Rubicam's business college?
It wasn't as bad as it sounds. I went inside places to get warmed
Inside? Yeah.
I went in the art museum and the bird houses, the zoo. I visited the penguins every day.
And you did all that to deceive me, just for deception. Why?
Mother, when you're disappointed, you get that awful suffering look on your face, like the picture of Jesus, Mother, in the museum. I couldn't face it. I just couldn't.
So, what are we going to do now, honey, the rest of our lives? Just sit down in this house and watch the parades go by, amuse ourselves with the Glass Menagerie, turn to play those worn-out records your father left us as a painful reminder of him. We can't have a business career. No, can't have that. That just gives us indigestion. What is there left for us now? But dependency all our lives. Of course, some girls do marry. My goodness, Laura. Haven't you ever liked some boy?
Yes, Mother. I liked one once.
You did?
Came across his picture a while ago.
He gave his picture, too?
Yes. But it was in the yearbook.
Oh, a high school boy.
His name was Jim. Here he is. In the Pirates of Penzance.
The what?
Was the operetta the senior class put on. He had a beautiful voice. I sat across the aisle from him Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays in the auditorium. Here he is, with a silver cup for debating. See his grin?
So he had a grin, too.
He used to call me Blue Roses.
Blue Roses? What do they call you a silly name like that for?
I was out sick with pleurosis. When I came back, he asked me what the matter was, and I said, I have pleurosis. He thought I said blue roses, so that's what he always called me after that. Every time he saw me, he'd say, hello, blue roses. I didn't care much for the girl that he went out with, Emily Mazenbach. Emily was the best-dressed girl at Solden, but it never struck me that she was sincere. I read in the paper once that they were engaged. It's a long time ago. They're probably married by now.
That's all right, honey. That's all right. Doesn't matter. Little girls who aren't cut out for business careers sometimes end up married to very nice young men. And I'm just going to see to it that you do that, too.
Mother?
What is it now?
I'm crippled.
Don't say that word. How many times have I told you never to say that word? You're not crippled. You just got a slight defect, that's all. If you'd lived in the days when I was a girl and they had long, graceful skirts sweeping the ground, it might even have been considered an asset. When you got a slight
disadvantage like that, you just got to cultivate something else to take its place. You got to cultivate charm or vivacity or charm. That's the only thing your father had plenty of. Charm.
After the fiasco at Rubicame's Business College, the idea of getting a gentleman caller for my sister Laura began to play a more and more important part in my mother's calculations. It became an obsession. Late that winter, realizing that extra money would be needed to properly feather the nest, she began a vigorous campaign on the telephone, roping in subscribers for one of those magazines for matrons called The Homemaker's Companion.
Ida Scott? This is Amanda Wingfield. We missed you at the DAR last Monday. First I want to know, how's your sinus condition? You just a Christian martyr, that's what you are. You just a Christian martyr. I was going through my little red book, and I saw that your subscription to the Companion is about to expire just when that wonderful new series by Besame Harper's starting. It's the first thing she's written since Honeymoon 4-3. Now, that was unusual, wasn't it? Ida, this one is even lovelier. It's all about the horses set on Long Island. And this debutante is thrown from her horse while taking him over the jumps at the regatta. Her spine is injured. That's what the horse did, he stepped on her. Now, there's only one surgeon in the entire world that can keep her from being completely paralyzed. And that's the man she's engaged to be married to, and is tall, and is blonde, and is handsome. Well, that's unusual, too, huh? Oh, he's not perfect. He has a weakness. He has the most terrible weakness in the entire world. He just drinks too much. What? Oh, no, honey, don't let him burn. You just go take a look in the oven, and I'll hold on. Ida? Ida? Ida?
Why, that woman. Do you know what she did? She hung up on me.
Mother, Tom's trying to write.
Oh, so he is. So he is.
What are you up to now?
I'm trying to save your eyesight. You only got one pair of eyes, you have to take care of them. Oh, I know that Milton was blind, but that's not what made him a genius.
Mother, please go away and let me finish writing.
Now, why can't you sit up straight so your shoulders don't stick through like sparrow's wings?
Mother, please go busy yourself with something else. I am trying to write.
Now, I've seen a medical chart, and I know what that position does to your internal organs. You sit up straight, and I'll show you. Your stomach presses against your lungs press against your heart, and that poor little heart gets discouraged because it hasn't got any room left to go on beating for you.
What in Christ's name
Don't you
am I
talk to me like
supposed to
that.
do?
What's the matter with you? Have you gone out of your senses?
I have, that's true. You've driven me out of it.
What's the matter with you lately, you big idiot?
Look, Mother, I've got no single thing in my life here that I can call my own.
Lower your voice.
Yesterday you confiscated my books.
Yes, I did. I took that horrible novel back to the library, that awful book by that insane Mr. Lawrence. I cannot control the output of a diseased mind or people who cater to them. And I won't allow such filth in my house. No.
House? Who pays rent on this house? Who makes a slave out of
Don't you
himself?
dare talk to me like that.
Oh, no, I mustn't say anything. I've just got to keep quiet and let you do all the talking.
Now, let me tell you
I don't want to hear any more.
You will hear more.
Well, I'm not going to listen.
You are not going to listen to me, Tom Wingfield. I'm tired of your impudence. And another thing, I'm right at the end of my...
What do you think I'm at the end of, Mother? Aren't I supposed to have any patience to reach the end of? Oh, I know. It seems unimportant to you. What I'm doing, what I want to do, having a little difference between them.
I think you're doing things that you're ashamed of, and that's why you act like this. I don't believe that you go every night to the movies. Nobody goes to movies night after night. Nobody in his right mind goes to movies as often as you pretend to. People don't go to the movies at nearly midnight, and movies don't let out at 2 a.m. Come in stumbling, muttering to yourself like a maniac, get 3 hours sleep, and then go to work. Oh, I can picture how you do it down there.
moping, doping, because you're in no condition to
That's true. That's very, very true. I'm in no condition.
How dare you jeopardize your job? How dare you jeopardize our security?
Look, Mother.
How do you think we'd manage?
You think I'm crazy about the warehouse? You think I'm in love with the Continental shoemakers? You think I want to spend 55 years of my life down there in that Celotex interior with fluorescent tubes? Honest to God, I'd rather somebody picked up a crowbar, batted out my brains than go back morning. But I go. Every time you come in yelling that goddamn rise and shine, I think to myself, how lucky dead people are. But I get up, I go. Every morning I get up for $65 a month. I give up everything I dream of doing and being ever. And you say that self is all I ever think of. Why, listen, Mother, if self was all I ever thought of, I'd be where he is, gone, as far as the system of transportation reaches. Don't grab at me!
I'm not grabbing at you. I just want to know where you're going.
I'm going to the movies.
No, I don't believe that lie.
I'm going to opium dens. Yes, opium dens. Dens of vice and criminals' hangouts, Mother. I've joined the Hogan gang. I'm a hired assassin. I'll carry a Tommy gun around in a violin case. I run a string of cat houses down in the valley. They call me Killer. Killer Wingfield. I'm really leading a double life. By day, I'm a simple, honest warehouse worker, but at night, I become a dynamic czar of the underworld, Mother. I go to gambling casinos. I spin away fortunes on the roulette table. I wear a patch over one eye, false mustache. Sometimes I put on green whiskers. On those occasions, they call me El Diablo. Oh, I could tell you things that would make you sleepless. My enemies are planning to dynamite this place. They're going to blow us all sky high some night. I'll be glad, very happy. So will you. You'll go up on a broomstick high over Blue Mountain with 17 gentlemen calling, "You ugly, babbling old witch!"
I'll never speak to you as long as you live until you apologize to me.
One crack and it falls through.
Tom? What are you doing?
I'm looking for Dorky.
Where have you been all this time?
Been to the movies.
All this time at the movies?
It was a very long program. There was a Garbo picture, and a Mickey Mouse, and a newsreel, a preview of coming attractions, and there was an organ solo, and a collection for the milk fund simultaneously. Ended in a terrible fight between a fat lady and an usher.
And you had to stay through everything.
No, I forgot there was a big stage show. The headliner on the stage show was Malvolio the Magician. He performed wonderful tricks, many of them, such as pouring water back and forth between two pitchers. First it turned into wine, and then it turned into beer, and then it turned into whiskey. I know it was whiskey that it finally turned into, because he needed somebody to come up out of the audience and help him out. I came up. Both shows. It was Kentucky straight bourbon. He was a very generous fellow. He gave souvenirs. Gave me this. This is his magic scarf. You can have it, Laura. You wave this over a cage of canaries, you get a bowl full of goldfish. Wave it over a goldfish bowl. They fly away, canaries. But the wonderfulest trick of all was the coffin trick. We nailed him up inside a coffin, and he got himself out of the coffin without removing one nail. Now there's a trick that'll come in handy for me. Get me out of this 2x4 situation. What are you shushing me for?
You wake up, Mother.
Goody, goody. Pay her back for all those rise and shines. Laura, it don't take much intelligence to get yourself into a nailed-up coffin. But who in hell ever got himself out of one without removing one nail?
Rise and shine, rise and shine. Laura, go tell your brother to rise and shine.
I'll rise, but I won't shine.
Laura, tell your brother his coffee's ready.
Tom, it's nearly 7. Don't make Mother nervous. Tom, speak to Mother this morning. Apologize to her. Make up with her. Speak to her.
She won't to me. It's her that started not speaking.
If you just say you're sorry, she'll start speaking.
Her not speaking. Is that such a tragedy?
Please.
Laura, you going to do what I asked you to do, or do I have to get dressed and go out myself?
Go on. As soon as I get on my coat. Butter and what else?
Just butter. Tell them to charge it.
Mother, they make such faces when I do that.
Sticks and stones can break our bones, but the expression on Mr. Garfinkel's face won't harm us. Tell your brother his coffee's getting cold.
Do what I asked you to, will you?
Laura, go now, or just don't go at all.
Go.
Laura!
I'm all right. I slipped, but I'm all right.
I'll tell you, if anybody falls down and breaks a leg on these fire escape steps, that landlord ought to be sued for ever said it. Who are you?
I'm sorry, Mother. I'm I'm sorry for all those things I said. I didn't mean it. I apologize.
My devotion has made me a witch, and so I make myself hateful to my children.
No, you don't.
I worry so much I don't sleep. It makes me nervous.
I understand that.
You know, I've had to put up a solitary battle all these years, but you're my right-hand power. Now, don't fail me. Don't fall down.
I try, Mother.
That's all right. You just keep on trying, and you're bound to succeed. You're just full of natural endowments. Both my children are. They're very precious children. I have an awful lot to be thankful for. You just must promise me one thing.
What's that, Mother?
Promise me you're never going to become a drunkard.
I promise. I will never become a drunkard, Mother.
That's what frightened me so, that you'd be drinking. Need a bowl of Purina?
Just coffee, Mother.
Shredded wheat biscuit?
No, Mother, just coffee.
Can't put in a day's work on an empty stomach. You got 10 minutes, don't gulp. Drinking too hot liquids makes cancer of the stomach. Put cream in.
No, thank you.
To cool it.
No, thank you. I want it black.
I know, but it isn't good for you. We have to do all that we can to build ourselves up. In these trying times we live in, all that we have to cling to is each other. That's why it's so important to Tom. I sent out your sister because I had something I wanted to discuss with you. If you hadn't spoken, I'd have spoken to you.
What is it, Mother, that you want to discuss?
Laura.
Laura.
You know how she is, so quiet, but still water runs deep. She notices things, and I think she broods about them. A few days ago, I came in, she was crying.
What about?
You.
Me?
She has an idea that you're not happy here.
What gave her that idea?
What gives her any idea? However, you do act strangely. Oh, I'm not criticizing. Understand that. I know that your ambitions do not lie in the warehouse. But like everybody in the whole wide world, you've had to make sacrifices. But, Tom, life's not easy. It calls for Spartan endurance. There's so many things in my heart that I cannot describe to you. I never told you, but I loved your father.
I know that, Mother.
And you, when I see you taking after his ways, staying out late, well, you know, you had been drinking that night you were in that terrifying condition. Laura said you hate the apartment, that you go out nights to get away from it. Is that true, Tom?
No. Mother, you say there are so many things in your heart that you can't describe to me. That's true for me, too. There are so many things in my heart that I can't describe to you. So let's just respect each other's privacy and leave it alone.
But, Tom, why are you always so restless? Where do you go to nights?
I go to the movies.
Why do you go to the movies so much, Tom?
I go to the movies because I like adventure. Adventure is something I don't have much of at the warehouse, so I go to the movies.
But, Tom, you go to the movies entirely too much.
I like a lot of adventure.
Most young men find adventure in their careers.
Then most young men are not employed in a warehouse.
The world is full of young men employed in warehouses and offices and factories.
And do all of them find adventure in their careers, Mother?
They do, or they do without it. Not everybody has a craze for adventure.
Man is by instinct a lover, a fighter, a hunter, and none of those instincts are given much play in a warehouse.
Man is by instinct. Don't quote instinct to me. Instinct is something that people have got away from. It belongs to animals. Christian adults don't want it.
What do Christian adults want then, Mother?
Superior things, things of the mind and the spirit. Only animals have to satisfy instinct. Surely your aims are somewhat higher than theirs, than monkeys, pigs.
I reckon they're not.
You're joking. However, that isn't what I wanted to discuss.
I haven't got much time.
Sit down.
You want me to punch in red at the warehouse,
You
Mother?
got 5 minutes. I want to talk about Laura.
All right. What about Laura?
We have to be making some plans and provisions for her. She's older than you, 2 years, and nothing has happened. she just drifts along, doing nothing. Frightens me terribly how she just drifts along.
Maybe she's the type people call home girls.
There's no such type, and if there is, it's a pity. That is, unless the home is hers, with a husband.
What?
Oh, I can see the handwriting on the wall as clear as I see the nose on the front of my face. It's terrifying. More and more you remind me of your father. He was out all hours without explanation, then left goodbye and me with the bag to hold. I saw that letter you got from the Merchant Marine. I know what you're dreaming. I'm not sitting here blindfolded. Very well, then. Then do it. But not until there's somebody to take your place.
What do you mean?
I mean, as soon as Laura has somebody to take care of her, married, a home of her own, independent, why, then you'll be free to go wherever you please, on land, on sea, whichever way the wind blows you. But until that time, you got to look out for your sister. I don't say me because I'm old and don't matter. I say your sister because she's young and dependent. I put her in business college, a dismal failure. Frightened her so she was sick at the stomach. I took over the Young People's League of the church, another fiasco. She spoke to nobody and nobody spoke to her. Now all she does is fool with these pieces of glass and play those worn-out records. What kind of life is that for a girl to lead?
Well, what can I do about it?
Overcome selfishness. Self is all you ever think about. Where's your muffler? Put your wool muffler on. Tom, I haven't said what I had in mind to ask you.
I am too late to stay here and...
Down at the warehouse, aren't there some nice young men?
No.
There must be some. Find one that's clean living, doesn't drink, and ask him out for a sister.
Oh, my gosh!
For a sister to meet, to get acquainted. Will you?
Yes!
Ella Cartwright? Ella? It's Amanda Wingfield. First, how's that kidney trouble? It has come back. You just a Christian martyr, that's what you are. You just a Christian martyr. Ella, I was noticing in my little red book that your subscription to the Companion has expired just when that wonderful new syrup by Bessie May Harper's starting. It's all about the horses set on Long Island, and... Oh, you have? You've read it. Well, how do you think it turns out? Oh, no. Bessie May Harper never lets you down. Oh, of course, we have to have complications. You have to have complications. You can't have a story without them. But Bessie May Harper always leaves you with such an uplift. What's the matter, Ella? You sound so mad. Oh, because it's only 7 o'clock in the morning. I forgot that you never get up until 9. I forgot that anybody in the whole wide world was allowed to sleep as late as that. Well, I can't say it any more than I'm sorry, can I? What? You gonna take that subscription from me anyhow? Well, bless you, Ella. Bless you, bless you, bless you.
Across the alley was the Paradise Dance Hall. Evenings in spring, they'd open all the doors and windows and the music would come outside. Sometimes they'd turn out all the lights except for a large glass sphere that hung from the ceiling. It would turn slowly about and filter the dusk with delicate rainbow colors. While these unsuspecting kids were dancing to Dear One, the World is Waiting for the Sunrise, all the world was really waiting for bombardments.
Tom, where are you?
I came outside to smoke.
You smoke too much. A pack a day at 15 cents a pack. How much would that be in a month? 30 times 15. Wouldn't be very much. Well, be enough to help toward a night school course at accounting at Washington U. Wouldn't that be lovely?
I'd rather smoke.
I know. That's a tragedy of youth. This fire escape landing is a poor excuse for the porch we used to have. What are you looking at?
Moon.
Is there a moon this evening?
It's rising over Garfinkel's delicatessen.
Oh, so it is. A little silver slip of a moon. Have you made a wish on it?
Mm-hmm.
What'd you wish?
That's the secret.
All right. I won't tell you what I wished for either. I can keep a secret too. I can be just as mysterious as you.
I bet I can guess what you wish for.
Why, is my head transparent?
You're not a sphinx.
No, I don't have secrets. Tell you what I wished for on the moon. Success and happiness for my precious children. That's what I wished for. Whenever there's a moon and when there isn't a moon, I wish for it too.
I thought perhaps you'd wished for a gentleman caller.
Why'd you say that?
Don't you remember asking me to fetch one?
I remember suggesting it would be nice for your sister if you brought home some nice young man from the warehouse. I think I made that suggestion more than once.
You have made it repeatedly.
Well?
Well, we're going to have one.
What?
A gentleman caller.
You mean you asked some nice young man to come over?
I asked him to dinner.
You really did?
I really did.
And did he accept?
He did.
He did?
He did.
Well, isn't that lovely?
I thought that you would be pleased.
How soon?
Quite soon.
How soon?
Pretty soon.
How soon?
Very, very soon.
Oh, every time I want to know something, you start going on like that.
What do you want to know?
Go ahead and guess. Go ahead and guess.
I bet I can guess. You want to know when the gentleman caller's coming? He's coming tomorrow.
Tomorrow? Oh, no. I can't do anything about tomorrow. I can't do anything about tomorrow.
Why not?
But it doesn't give me any time.
Time for what?
Time for preparations. You should have phoned me the minute you asked it, the minute he accepted.
You don't have to make any fuss.
Well, of course I have to make a fuss. I can't have a man coming into a place that's all sloppy. It's got to be thrown together properly. I'll certainly have to do some fast thinking by tomorrow night, too.
I don't see why you have to think at all.
That's because you just don't know. You just don't know. Can't have a gentleman caller coming into a pigsty. Now, let me see. Let me see. I've got those 3 pieces of wedding silver left. I'll polish that up. I wonder how that old lace tablecloth is holding up all these years. Can't wear anything. We haven't got it. We haven't got anything to wear. We haven't got it.
Mother, this boy is no one to make a fuss over.
I don't know how you can say that when this is the first gentleman caller your little sister's ever had. I think it's pathetic that that little girl has never had a single gentleman caller. Come on inside. Come on
What
inside.
for?
I want to ask you a few things.
Mother, if you're going to make a fuss about this, I'm going to call the whole thing off. I'll call him up and tell him not to come.
No, you can't do that. People hate broken engagements. They have no place to go. Come on inside. Come on inside. Will you come inside when I ask you to come inside? Sit down.
Any particular place you would like me to sit?
Sit anywhere. Sit anywhere. Look. What am I going to do about that? Have you ever seen anything look so sad? I know. I'll get a bright piece of cretonne. That won't cost very much. And I made a payment on a floor lamp, so I'll have that sent out. Put a bright cover on that chair. Wish I had time to paper the walls. What's his name?
His name's O'Connor, Mother.
O'Connor. He's Irish, and tomorrow's Friday. That means fish. That's all right. I'll make a salmon loaf and some mayonnaise dressing for it. Where'd you meet him?
I met him at the warehouse, Mother. Where else would I meet him?
Well, I don't know. Does he drink?
Why would you ask me that?
Because your father did.
Don't get started on that
He
now.
drinks, then.
Not that I know of.
Well, you have to find out. There's nothing I want less for my daughter than a man who drinks.
Aren't you being a little bit premature? Poor Mr. O'Connor's not yet appeared on the scene.
But he will tomorrow to meet your sister, and what do I know about his character?
What are you up to now?
Always did hate that cowlick. I never could understand why it won't sit down by itself.
Mother, I want to tell you something. I mean it sincerely, right straight from my heart. There's lots of fellas that meet girls whom they don't marry.
You know, you always had me worried because you could never stick to a subject. Now, what I want to know is, what is his position at the warehouse?
His position is that of a shipping clerk, Mother.
Oh, a shipping clerk. Well, that's fairly important. That's where you'd be if you had more get-up. How much does he earn?
I would judge his salary to be approximately $85 a month.
$85 a month. Well, that's not princely.
It's 20 more than I make.
I know that. Oh, how well I know that. How well I know that. $85 a month. No, can't be done. Family man could never get by on $85 a month.
Mother, Mr. O'Connor is not a family man.
Well, he might be sometime in the future, mightn't he?
Oh, I see. Plans and provisions.
You're the only young man I know who ignores the fact that the future becomes the present the past, and the past turns into everlasting regret if you don't plan for it.
I will think that over and see what I can make of it.
Don't be supercilious with your mother. But I want no more about this. What do you call him? Mr. O'Connor? Mr. O'Connor must have another name besides Mr.
His full name is James D. O'Connor. The D is for Delaney.
Delaney. Irish on both sides, and he doesn't drink.
Shall I call him up right this minute and ask him?
No.
I'll call him up and tell him you want to know if he drinks.
No, no. You mustn't do that. You have to be discreet about that subject. When I was a girl in Blue Mountain, and it was suspected that a young man was drinking, and any girl was receiving his attentions, if any girl was receiving his attentions, she'd go to the minister of his church and ask about his character, or her father. If her father was living, then it was his duty to go to the minister of his church and ask about his character. And that's how girls in Blue Mountain were kept from making tragic mistakes.
Then how did you come to make such a tragic mistake?
Oh, I don't know how he did it, but that face fooled everybody. All he had to do was grin, and the whole world was bewitched. I don't know of anything more tragic than a young girl just putting herself at the mercy of a handsome appearance. And I hope that Mr. O'Connor is not too good looking.
As a matter of fact, he's not. He's covered with freckles, and he's got a very large nose.
He's not right down homely.
Not right down homely, just medium homely, I'd say.
Well, if a girl had any sense, she'd look for character in a man anyhow.
That's what I've always said, Mother.
You've always said it. You've always said it. How could you've always said it when you never even thought about it?
Don't be so suspicious of me.
I am. I'm suspicious of every word that comes out of your mouth whenever you talk to me. But I want no more about this young man. Is he up and coming?
I think he really does go in for self-improvement.
What makes you think it?
He's going to night school.
What does he do there at night school?
He's studying radio engineering and public speaking.
Public speaking, huh? Well, that shows. That shows that he intends to be an executive someday and radio engineering. Well, that's coming, huh?
I think it's here.
Well, those are all very illuminating facts. Facts that every mother should know about any young man calling on her daughter, seriously or not.
Just one little warning, Mother. I didn't tell him anything about Laura. I didn't let on we had dark, ulterior motives. I just said, why don't you come over for dinner some night? He said, fine, and that was the whole conversation.
I'll bet it was, too. I tell you, sometimes you can be as eloquent as an oyster. However, when he sees how sweet and pretty that child is, he's going to be very happy that he was asked over here to have some supper.
Just one thing, Mother. You won't expect too much of Laura, will you?
What do you mean?
Well, she seems all those things to you and to me because she's ours and we love her. We don't even notice that she's crippled anymore.
Don't use that word.
You've got to face the facts, Mother. She is. And that's not all.
What do you mean, that's not all?
Mother, you know that Laura is very different from other girls.
Yes, I do. I do know that. And I think that difference is all in her favor, too.
Not quite all. In the eyes of strangers, other people. She lives in a world of her own. She's terribly shy. And those things make her seem a little peculiar to people that live outside the house.
Don't use that word, peculiar.
You've got to face the facts, Mother. She is.
I don't know in what way she's peculiar.
She lives in a world of little glass animals, Mother. She plays old phonograph records. And that's about all.
Laura? Laura?
Yes, Mother?
Where those dishes go and come in front. Come and make a wish on the moon. A little silver slipper for moon. Look over your left shoulder and make a wish. Now, darling, wish.
What should I wish for, Mother?
Happiness. And just a little bit of good fortune. Why are you trembling so, honey?
Mother, you've made me so nervous.
Why? How have I made you nervous?
Oh, all this fuss. You make it seem so important.
I don't understand you at all, honey. Every time I try to do anything for you that's the least bit different, you just seem to set yourself against it. There, now, take a look at yourself. No, wait, just a minute. I forgot something.
What is it?
A couple of improvements. When I was a girl, we had round little lacy things like that, and we called them gay deceivers.
Oh, I won't wear them.
Of course you're going to wear them.
Why should I?
Well, tell you the truth, honey, you're just a little bit flat-chested.
Mother, you make it seem like we're setting a trap.
We are. All pretty girls are trapped, and men expect them to be traps. Now, look at yourself in the glass. See? You look just like an angel on a postcard. Isn't that lovely? Now, you wait. I'm going to dress myself up, too. You're going to be astonished at your mother's appearance. Laura, look at me. Look at me now.
How lovely.
It used to be. It had a lot of flowers on it. But they got awful tired, so I had to take them all off. I led the cotillion in this dress years ago. I won the cakewalk twice at Sunset Hill. I walked to the governor's ball in Jackson. You should have seen your mother. You should have seen your mother, how she just sashayed around the room just like that. I had it on the day I met your father. I had malaria fever, too. The change in climate from East Tennessee to the Delta weakened my resistance. Not enough to be dangerous, just enough to make me restless and giddy. Oh, it's lovely. Invitations poured in from all over. My mother said, you can't go any place. You have a fever. You have to stay in bed. I said I wouldn't. And I took quite on, and I kept on going and going. Dances every evening, long rides in the country in the afternoon, and picnics. That country, so lovely. So lovely. And May, all lacy with dogwood and simply covered with jonquils. My mother said, you can't bring any more jonquils in this house. I said, I will. And I kept on bringing them in anyhow. Whenever I'd see them, I'd say, wait a minute, I see jonquils, and I'd make my gentleman callers Get out of the carriage and help me gather some. Tell you the truth, Laura, it ought to be a kind of joke. They'd say, look out, here comes that girl. We'll have to spend the afternoon picking jonquils. My mother said, you can't bring any more jonquils in this house. I haven't got any more vases. Hold them. I said, that's quite all right. I can hold some myself. Malaria fever. Your father. Jonquils. Hope they get here before it starts to rain. I gave your brother a little extra money so he and Mr. O'Connor could take a service car home.
Mother?
What's the matter now?
What'd you say his name was?
O'Connor. Why?
What's his first name?
I don't remember. Oh, yes, I do, too. It was Jim. Yes, that was it. It was Jim.
Oh, Mother, not Jim O'Connor.
Yes, Jim. I've never known a Jim that wasn't nice.
Are you sure that his name was Jim O'Connor?
Why, sure, I'm sure. Why?
Is it the one that Tom used to know in high school?
I don't think so. He didn't say so. I think he just got to know him at the warehouse.
There was a Jim O'Connor that we both knew in high school. Oh, Mother, if it's the one that Tom's bringing home to dinner, you'd have to forgive me. I wouldn't come to the table.
What's this now? What sort of silly talk is this?
Remember, you asked me once if I ever liked a boy. Remember, I showed you this boy's picture.
You mean that boy in the yearbook?
Yes, that boy.
Laura. Were you in love with that boy?
I don't know, Mother. I only know that I couldn't sit at the table if it was him.
It won't be him. It isn't the least bit likely. But whether it is or not, you will come to the table. You will not be excused.
I'll have to be, Mother.
I don't intend to humor your silliness, Laura. I've had too much from you and your brother both. So, just sit down and compose yourself till they arrive. Tom has forgotten his key, so you'll have to let him in when they get here.
Oh, Mother, please, you answer the door.
How can I? When I haven't even finished the mayonnaise dressing for the salmon.
Oh, please, you go to the door.
What's all this?
Don't make me do it.
Honey, what's all this fuss about just one gentleman caller? That's all. Just one. Laura? Sweetheart? The door?
Please. Mother, you go to the door.
What's the matter with you, you silly thing? Please, you answer. Why have you chosen this moment to lose your mind? You go to that door.
I can't.
Why can't you?
I'm sick.
You're sick. Am I sick? Laura Wingfield, you march straight to that door.
Yes, Mother.
I got a little courage in you, huh? Live it.
Laura, this is Jim. Jim, this is my sister, Laura.
I didn't know Shakespeare had a sister. How are you, Laura?
How do you do?
Okay, your hand's cold, Laura.
I've been playing the Victrola.
Oh. Must have been playing classical music on it. Ought to play a little hot swing music, warm you up. What's the matter?
Laura? Laura is terribly shy.
Shy, huh? Unusual to meet a shy girl nowadays. I don't believe you ever mentioned you had a sister.
Well, now you know. I have one. Here's the Star Times. You want a piece of it?
Uh-huh.
What piece? Comics?
Sports. Oh, Dizzy Dean's on his bad behavior.
Really?
Yeah. Where are you going?
Out on the terrace to smoke.
You know, Shakespeare, I want to sell you a bill of goods.
What goods?
A course I'm taking.
What course?
Public speaking. You and me, we're not the warehouse type.
Thanks, that's good news. What's that got to do with public speaking?
Well, it fits you for executive positions. Yeah, it's done a hell of a lot for me.
In what respect?
In every respect. Ask yourself what's the difference between you and me and the guys in the office down front. Brains?
No.
Ability?
No.
And what? Primarily, it amounts to just one single thing.
What's that?
Social poise. The ability to square up to somebody and hold your own on any social level.
Tom?
Yes, Mother?
You and Mr. O'Connor?
Yes, Mother?
Make yourselves comfortable.
We will.
Ask Mr. O'Connor if he'd like to wash his hands.
No thanks, ma'am. Took care of that down at the warehouse. Tom?
Yeah.
Mr. Mendoza was speaking to me about you.
Favorably?
What do you think?
Well,
You're gonna be out of a job if you don't wake up.
I am waking up.
You show no signs.
The signs are interior. I'm about to make a change. I'm right on the point of committing myself to a future that does not include Mr. Mendoza or the warehouse, or even a night school course in public speaking.
What are you gassing about?
I'm tired of the movies.
Movies?
Yes, some movies. Look at them all. All those glamorous people having adventures, hogging it all, gobbling the whole thing up. You know what happens? People go to the movies instead of moving. Hollywood characters are supposed to have all the adventures for everybody in America, while everybody in America sits in a dark room watching them having them. Yes, until there's a war. That's when adventure becomes available to the masses. Everyone's dish, not only Gable's. Then the people in the dark room come out of the dark room to have some adventures of their own. Goody, goody. Now it's our turn to go to a South Sea island, make a safari, be exotic far off. But I'm not patient. I don't want to wait till then. I'm tired of the movies, and I'm about to move.
Move?
Yes.
When?
Soon.
Where?
I'm starting to boil inside. Oh, I know I seem dreamy, but inside, well, I'm boiling. Every time I pick up a shoe, I shudder a little, thinking how short life is and what I am doing. Whatever that means. I know it don't mean shoes, except it's something to put on a traveler's feet. Look.
Huh?
I'm a member.
Union of Merchant Seamen.
I paid my dues this month instead of the electric light bill.
You'll regret it when they turn off the lights.
I won't be here.
Well, how about your mother?
I'm just like my father, the bastard son of a bastard. See how he grins? He's been absent going on 16 years.
You're just talking, you drip. How'd your mother feel about it?
Tom?
Here comes Mother. Mother's not acquainted with my plans.
Boys?
Yes, Mother?
Where you all?
In front, Mother.
Well,
Mother, you look so pretty.
you know that's the first compliment you've ever paid me. I wish you'd look pleasant when you're about to say something pleasant so I could expect it. Mr. O'Connor.
How do you do?
Well, 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 so this is Mr. O'Connor. Introductions entirely unnecessary. I've heard so much about you from my boy, I finally said to him, Tom, good gracious, why don't you bring this paragon to supper finally? I'd like to meet this nice young man from the warehouse instead of just hearing you sing his praises so much. I don't know why my boy is so standoffish. That's not Southern behavior. Let's sit down. And I think we can stand a little more air in here. Tom, will you leave that door wide open? Felt a nice fresh breeze a moment ago. Where has it gone to? So warm already. Not quite summer. We're going to burn up when summer really gets started. However, we're having a very light supper. I think light things better for this time of year, same as light clothes are. Light clothes and light food are what the warm weather calls for. You know, Our blood gets so thick during the winter. Takes a while for us to adjust ourselves when the season changes. Comes quick this year I wasn't prepared for. All of a sudden, good heavens, already summer. I ran to the trunk and pulled out this light dress. Terribly old, historical almost, but feels so good and so cool. Why, you
How
know...
about our supper, Mother?
Laura, sweetheart, the door.
Please. Mother, you go to the door.
What's the matter with you, you silly thing? Please, you answer. Why have you chosen this moment to lose your mind? You go to that door. I can't. Why can't you? I'm sick. You're sick. Am I sick? Laura Wingfield, you march straight to that door.
Yes, Mother.
I got a little courage in you, huh? Live it.
Laura? This is Jim. Jim, this is my sister, Laura.
I didn't know Shakespeare had a sister. How are you, Laura?
How do you do?
Okay, your hand's cold, Laura.
I've been playing the Victrola.
Oh. Must have been playing classical music on it. Ought to play a little hot swing music, warm you up. What's the matter?
Laura? Laura is terribly shy.
Shy, huh? Unusual to meet a shy girl nowadays. I don't believe you ever mentioned you had a sister.
Well, now you know. I have one. Here's the Star Times. You want a piece of it?
Uh-huh.
What piece? Comics?
Sports. Oh, Dizzy Dean's on his bad behavior.
Really?
Yeah. Where are you going?
Out on the terrace to smoke.
You know, Shakespeare, I want to sell you a bill of goods.
What goods?
A course I'm taking.
What course?
Public speaking.
Hmm?
You and me, we're not the warehouse type.
Thanks, that's good news. What's that got to do with public speaking?
Well, it fits you for executive positions. Yeah, it's done a hell of a lot for me.
In what respect?
In every respect. Ask yourself what's the difference between you and me and the guys in the office down front. Brains?
No.
Ability?
No.
And what? Primarily, it amounts to just one single thing.
What's that?
Social poise. The ability to square up to somebody and hold your own on any social level.
Tom?
Yes, Mother?
You and Mr. O'Connor?
Yes, Mother?
Make yourselves comfortable.
We will.
Ask Mr. O'Connor if he'd like to wash his hands.
No thanks, ma'am. Took care of that down at the warehouse. Tom?
Yeah.
Mr. Mendoza was speaking to me about you.
Favorably?
What do you think?
Well,
You're gonna be out of a job if you don't wake up.
I am waking up.
You show no signs.
The signs are interior. I'm about to make a change. I'm right on the point of committing myself to a future that does not include Mr. Mendoza or the warehouse, or even a night school course in public speaking.
What are you gassing about?
I'm tired of the movies.
Movies?
Yes, the movies. Look at them all. All those glamorous people having adventures, hogging it all, gobbling the whole thing up. You know what happens? People go to the movies instead of moving. Hollywood characters are supposed to have all the adventures for everybody in America, while everybody in America sits in a dark room watching them having them. Yes, until there's a war. That's when adventure becomes available to the masses. Everyone's dish, not only Gable's. Then the people in the dark room come out of the dark room to have some adventures of their own. Goody, goody. Now it's our turn to go to a South Sea island, make a safari, be exotic far off. But I'm not patient. I don't want to wait till then. I'm tired of the movies, and I'm about to move.
Move?
Yes.
When?
Soon.
Where?
I'm starting to boil inside. Oh, I know I seem dreamy, but inside, well, I'm boiling. Every time I pick up a shoe, I shudder a little, thinking how short life is and what I am doing. Whatever that means. I know it don't mean shoes, except it's something to put on a traveler's feet. Look.
Huh?
I'm a member.
Union of Merchant Seamen.
I paid my dues this month instead of the electric light bill.
You'll regret it when they turn off the lights.
I won't be here.
Well, how about your mother?
I'm just like my father, the bastard son of a bastard. See how he grins? He's been absent going on 16 years.
You're just talking, you drip. How'd your mother feel about it?
Huh?
Here comes Mother. Mother's not acquainted with my plans.
Boys?
Yes, Mother?
Where you all?
In front, Mother.
Well,
Mother, you look so pretty.
You know that's the first compliment you've ever paid me. I wish you'd look pleasant when you're about to say something pleasant so I could expect it. Mr. O'Connor.
How do you do?
Well, 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 so this is Mr. O'Connor. Introductions entirely unnecessary. I've heard so much about you from my boy, I finally said to him, Tom, good gracious, why don't you bring this paragon to supper finally? I'd like to meet this nice young man from the warehouse instead of just hearing you sing his praises so much. I don't know why my boy is so standoffish. That's not Southern behavior. Let's sit down. And I think we can stand a little more air in here. Tom, will you leave that door wide open? Felt a nice fresh breeze a moment ago. Where has it gone to? So warm already. Not quite summer. We're going to burn up when summer really gets started. However, we're having a very light supper. I think light things better for this time of year, same as light clothes are. Light clothes and light food are what the warm weather calls for. You know, our blood gets so thick during the winter. Takes a while for us to adjust ourselves when the season changes. Comes quick this year I wasn't prepared for. All of a sudden, good heavens, already summer. I ran to the trunk and pulled out this light dress. Terribly old, historical almost, but feels so good and so cool. Why, you
How
know...
about our supper, Mother?
Honey, you go ask Sister if supper's ready. You know, Sister's in full charge of supper. Tell her you hungry boys are waiting for it. Have you met Laura?
Well, she came to the door.
She let you in.
Yes, ma'am.
She's very pretty.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Please, sit down. It's rare for a girl as sweet and pretty as Laura to be domestic, but Laura is, thank heavens, not only pretty, but very domestic. I'm not at all. I never was. I never could make a thing but angel food cake. Well, in the South, that's many servants. Gone, all vestige, gracious living gone completely. I wasn't prepared for what the future brought me. All my gentlemen callers were sons of planters, so naturally I assumed I'd be married to one, raise my family on a large piece of land with plenty of servants. But man proposes and woman accepts the proposal. To vary that old saying a little bit, I married no planter. I married a man who worked for the telephone company, that gallantly smiling gentleman over there. A telephone man who fell in love with long distance. Now he travels and I don't even know where. But what am I going on for about my tribulations? Tell me about yours. I hope you don't have any.
Well,
Tom?
Yes, Mother?
What about that supper?
My supper's on the table.
Oh, so it is. How lovely. Mr. O'Connor. Where's Laura?
Laura is not feeling too well and thinks it would be better if she didn't come to the table.
Laura?
Yes, Mother?
We can't say grace till you come to the table.
I'm so sorry.
Oh! Why, Laura, you are ill. Let Laura rest on the sofa. Standing over that hot stove has made her ill. I told her it was just too warm this evening, but... Is Laura all right?
She's better, Mother.
Oh, my goodness. I think we're going to have a little rain. Oh, thank you, Mr. O'Connor. Tom, you say grace.
What?
What do we generally do before we have something to eat? We say grace, don't we?
For these and all thy mercies, God's holy name be praised.
You gotta get that together. I gotta move that load, and he moved it, boy. Now, wait a minute. I'm coming into something.
Mr. O'Connor, I haven't had such a pleasant evening in a very long time.
Well, Miss Wingfield, let me give you a toast. Here's to the Old South.
The Old South.
Hey, Mr. Lightbulb.
Where was Moses when the lights went out? Do you know the answer to that one, Mr. O'Connor?
No, ma'am. What's the answer to that?
Well, I heard one answer, but it wasn't very nice. I thought you might know another one.
Oh, no, ma'am.
It's lucky I put this candelabrum on the side table. Only put it on for ornamentation, but it's nice when it proves useful, too. Now, if one of you gentlemen can... Ah, good. Now we can have some illumination.
Here we go.
Thank you, Mr. O'Connor.
Not at all, ma'am.
I think it must be a burned-out fuse. Mr. O'Connor, do you know anything about a burned-out fuse?
Well, Miss Wingfield, I know a little about him, but where's the fuse box?
Must you know that, too? It's in the kitchen. It's over the stove. Be careful. It's dark. Don't stumble over anything. Oh, my goodness. Wouldn't it be awful if we lost him? Mr. O'Connor, you all right?
Yes, ma'am.
You know, electricity is a very mysterious thing. The whole universe is mysterious to me. Wasn't it Benjamin Franklin who tied a key to a kite? I'd like to have seen that. He might look mighty silly. Some people say that science clears up all the mysteries for us. In my opinion, they just keep on adding more. Have you found it yet?
Yes, ma'am. I found it all right, but them fuses look okay to me.
Tom,
Yes, Mother?
that light bill I gave you several days ago, the one I got the notice about,
Oh, yeah, you mean last month's bill?
you didn't neglect it by any chance.
Well,
You did. I might have known.
Oh, maybe Shakespeare wrote a poem on that light bill, Miss Wingfield.
Oh, well, maybe you did. I should have known better than to trust him with it. There's such a high price for negligence in the world today.
Well, maybe the poem will win a $10 prize.
We just have to spend the rest of the evening in the 19th century before Mr. Edison found that Mazda lamp.
Well, candlelight's my favorite kind of light.
That shows you're romantic. But it's no excuse for Tom. However, I think it was very nice of them to let us finish our dinner before they plunged us into everlasting darkness. Tom was a penalty for your carelessness. He's going to have to help me with the dishes.
Can I be some help, ma'am?
Oh, no, I couldn't have that.
Oh, it ought to be good for something.
What did I hear?
I just said it ought to be good for something.
That's what I thought you said. Well, Laura's all by lonesome out front. Maybe you'd like to keep her company. I can let you have this lovely old candelabrum for light. Used to be on the altar of the Church of the Heavenly Rest, but it melted a little out of shape when the church burned down. The church was struck by lightning one spring, and Gypsy Jones, who was holding a revival meeting in the village, said that the church was struck by lightning because the Episcopalians had started to have card parties right in the church.
Is that so, ma'am?
I'll never say anything that isn't so.
Beg your pardon, ma'am.
I'd like Laura to have a little dandelion wine. Do you think you can hold them both?
I can try.
Tom, get into that apron.
How you feeling now? Better?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, this is for you. A little dandelion wine.
Thank you.
Drink it. Don't get drunk. Where do I put the candles?
Anywhere.
Well, how about right here on the floor? Any objections?
No.
I'll just spread a newspaper under it and catch the drippings. You know, I like to sit on the floor. You mind if I do?
No.
Would you give me a pillow? What? A pillow. How about you? Don't you like to sit on the floor?
Yeah.
Well, then why don't you?
I will.
Take a pillow. You know, I can't see you sitting way over there.
See you?
Yeah, but that's not fair. You know, I'm in the limelight. Good. Good. There. Well, that's better, isn't it? I can see you now. You comfortable?
Yes, thank you.
So am I. Comfortable as a cow. Would you care for a piece of chewing gum?
No, thank you.
Well, I think that I will indulge, with your permission. Boy, think of the fortune made by the guy who invented the first piece of chewing gum. Amazing, huh? Wrigley Building's one of the sights of Chicago. I saw it summer before last at the Century of Progress. Did you take in the Century of Progress?
No, I didn't.
Well, it was a wonderful exposition. And you know what impressed me most about it? Hall of Science. See, it gives you an idea of what the future will be like in America. It's even more wonderful than the present time is. Hey, your brother tells me you're shy, Laura. Is that right?
I don't know.
Well, I judge you to be an old-fashioned type of girl. I think that's a pretty good type to be. You know, I hope you don't think I'm being too personal with you.
Mr. O'Connor.
Yeah?
I believe I will take a piece of gum, if you don't mind. Mr. O'Connor?
Yeah?
Have you kept up with your singing?
Singing? Me?
Yes, I remember what a beautiful voice you had.
You heard me sing?
Yes, very often. I don't suppose you remember me at all.
Well, as a matter of fact, I did have an idea. I've seen you somewhere before. You know, it almost seemed like I was about to remember your name, but the name I was about to remember wasn't a name. So I stopped myself before I said it.
Wasn't it Blue Roses?
Blue Roses. Oh, my gosh! Blue Roses. You know, I didn't connect you with high school somehow or other. But that's where it was. It was in high school. Gosh, I didn't even know you were Shakespeare's sister. Gosh, I'm sorry.
I didn't expect you to. You barely knew me.
Well, we did have a speaking acquaintance.
Oh, yes. We spoke to each other.
Didn't we have a class and something together?
Yes.
What class was that?
We're singing chorus.
Oh, yeah.
I sat across the aisle from you Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays in the auditorium.
Mondays, Wednesdays. Oh, yeah, I remember now. You're the one who always came in late.
Well, I had difficulty getting up the stairs. I had this brace on my leg then, and it clumped so loud.
I never even noticed.
Everyone was seated when I came in. And I had to walk in front of all those people. My seat was in the last row, and I had to go clumping up the aisle with everybody watching.
You shouldn't have been self-conscious.
I know, but I was.
You mean you were shy with people?
Well, I tried not to be, but I never could.
Overcome it?
No, I never could.
Yeah. You know something, Laura? People are not so dreadful when you get to know them. That's what you have to remember. And everybody has problems. Not just you. Practically everybody has problems. You think yourself as being the only one who's disappointed. Just look around you, and what do you see? A lot of people just as disappointed as you are. Well, you take me, for instance. Boy, well, when I left high school, I thought I'd be a lot further along at this time than I am now. Remember that wonderful write-up I had in the Cadasco? Huh? It said that I was bound to succeed in anything I went into. Where are you going? Holy jeez, the Cadasco.
Here you are. And the Pirates of Penzance.
The Pirates. Oh, better far to live and die. And sang the lead in that operetta.
Beautifully.
Well, I know.
Beautifully.
You heard me then, huh?
I heard you all 3 times.
No.
Yes.
All 3 performances?
Yes.
What for?
Well, I wanted you to autograph my program.
Why didn't you ask me to?
Well, you were always so surrounded by your own friends so much. I never had a chance.
Well, you should have just come right up. Thought I might think you would. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was beleaguered by females in those days.
Terribly popular.
Yeah.
Everybody liked you.
Including you?
Yes.
Well, well, well. Give me that program, Laura. There we go. Better late than never.
Oh, my goodness.
My signature's not worth very much right now, but maybe someday will increase in value. You finish high school?
Well, I made bad grades in my final examinations.
I mean you dropped out.
I didn't go back. How's Emily Myers and Beck getting along?
That crowdhead?
Why do you call her that?
Because that's what she was.
You're not still going with her?
I never even see her.
It said in the personal section that you were engaged.
I know, but I wasn't impressed by that propaganda.
It's not true.
Only in Emily's optimistic opinion. What have you done since high school?
What?
Huh? I said, what have you done since high school?
I took a business course at business college.
Oh, you did? How'd that work out?
Not very well. I had to drop out. It gave me indigestion.
You know what I judge to be the trouble with you? Inferiority complex. You know what that is? That's what they call it when a fellow low rates himself. Now, I understand it because I had it myself. Only in my case, it's not as aggravated as yours seems to be. Now, I had it until I took up public speaking and developed my voice and learned that I had an aptitude for science. You know that until that time, I never thought of myself as being outstanding in any way whatsoever.
Oh, my.
Now, I haven't made a regular study of it, mind you. But I have a friend who says I can analyze people better than doctors make a profession of it. I don't claim that's necessarily true, but I sure can guess a person's psychology. Excuse me, Laura. Always take it out when the flavor's gone. Let's wrap it in a piece of paper here. I know how it is when you get it stuck on a shoe. Yeah, that's what I judge to be your principal trouble. A lack of confidence in yourself as a person. Now, I'm basing that fact on a number of your remarks and on certain observations I've made. For instance, that clumping you thought was so awful in high school? You say you dreaded to go upstairs? See what you did? You dropped out of school. You gave up an education, all because of a little clump, which, as far as I'm concerned, is practically non-existent. Oh, little physical defects, all you have. It's hardly noticeable, even. Magnified 1,000 times by your imagination. Now, you know what my strong advice to you is? You got to think of yourself as being superior in some way.
In what way would I think?
Why, man alive, Laura, look around you, and what do you see? A world full of common people. All of them born, and all of them gonna die. Now, which of them has 1/10 of your strong points? Or mine? or anybody else's for that matter. You see, everybody excels in some one thing. Well, some in many. Take me, for instance. Now, my interest happens to lie in electrodynamics. I'm taking a radio engineering course at night school, on top of a fairly responsible job at the warehouse. I'm taking that course and studying public speaking.
Oh, my.
Because I believe in the future of television. I want to be ready to go right up along with it. I'm planning to get in on the ground floor. I already made the right connections. And all that remains now is for the industry itself to get underway, full steam. Money, rooga-jooga-jooga-jooga. Knowledge, rooga-jooga-jooga-jooga-jooga. Power, rooga-jooga-jooga. Wham! Now that's the cycle democracy's built on. I guess you think I think a lot of myself, huh?
No, I don't.
Well, how about you? I mean, isn't there some one thing you take more interest in than anything else?
Well, I have my glass collection.
Oh, you do? What kind of glass is it?
It's little articles of it. They're ornaments, mostly. Most of them are little animals made out of glass. They are the tiniest little animals in the world. Mother calls it my glass menagerie. Here's one. This one is one of the oldest. He's nearly 13. Oh, be careful. If you breathe, it breaks.
Oh, I'm gonna take it. I'm pretty clumsy with things.
Oh, no. I trust you with it. There. Now you're holding him gently. Hold him over the line. He loves the line. See how the light shines through him?
Sure does shine.
I shouldn't be partial, but he is my favorite one.
What kind of thing is this one supposed to be?
Well, haven't you noticed the single horn on his forehead?
Oh, yeah, unicorn, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Unicorns. Aren't they extinct in the modern world? Poor little fella. Must feel kind of lonesome.
Well, if he does, he doesn't complain about it.
Oh, he doesn't, huh? Where'll I put him?
Put him on the table. They all like a change of scenery once in a while.
They do. There we go. Hey! Look how big my shadow is when I stretch.
Stretches across the ceiling.
Where's the music come from?
From the Paradise Dance Hall, across the alley.
Stop raining. How about cutting a rug, little Miss Winkfield? Or is your program all filled up? Let me take a look at that. Every dance is taken. I'll just have to scratch some of them out of there. Waltz.
I can't dance.
There you go, that inferiority stuff.
No, I've never danced in my whole life.
Come on, try.
I'll step on you.
I'm not made out of glass.
How do we start?
Now, raise your arms a little.
Like this?
A little bit higher. There we go. Now, don't tighten up. That's the principal thing. Just relax.
It's hard not to.
Okay.
Oh, I bet you can't budge me.
What do you want to bet I can't?
Oh, my goodness. Oh, yes, you can.
Let yourself go, Laura. Just let yourself go. Yeah. That's a lot better. Oh, my God.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
I knocked the little glass horse over. Is he broken?
No, it's just like all the other horses.
Oh, you mean he lost his,
His horn. Oh, it doesn't matter. Maybe it's a blessing in disguise.
I bet you never forgive me for that. I bet that was your favorite piece of glass.
I don't have favorites much. It's no tragedy. Glass breaks so easily, no matter how careful you are. Traffic jars and shells and things fall off them.
Still, I'm awfully sorry that I was the cause of it.
I just imagine he had an operation, and the horn was removed to make him feel less freakish. Now he'll be like all the other horses, the ones that don't have horns.
I'm glad to see you have a sense of humor. You know, you're different from anybody else I know. Do you mind me saying that? I mean it. You make me feel sort of... Well, I don't know how to say it. I'm usually pretty good at expressing things, but this is something I don't know how to say. Anyone ever tell you you were pretty? Well, you are. And in a different way from anyone else. And all the nicer because of the difference. Well, I wish you were my sister. I'd teach you to have confidence in yourself. You see, being different is nothing to be ashamed of. Because other people, they're not such wonderful people. They're 100 times 1,000. You're 1 times 1. They walk all over the earth. You just stay here. They're common as weeds, but you, well, you're blue roses.
Blue is wrong for roses.
Well, it's right for you, because you're pretty.
In what respect am I pretty?
In all respects. Your eyes, your hair, your hands. Pretty. You think I'm saying this because I'm invited to dinner and have to be nice. I could do that. Oh, I could say lots of things without being sincere, but I'm talking to you sincerely. I happen to notice that you had this inferiority complex that keeps you from feeling comfortable with people. Well, somebody ought to build your confidence up. Way up. Somebody ought to make you proud instead of shy and turning away and blushing. Somebody ought to kiss you, Laura. I shouldn't have done that. Oh, my God, oh. That was way off the beam. Did you care for a cigarette? Oh, you don't smoke, do you? Mint? Peppermint? Lifesaver? My pocket's a regular drugstore. Laura, you know, if I had a sister like you, I'd do the same thing as Tom. I'd bring fellas home to meet you. Maybe I'm wrong in saying that. That may not have been the idea and have me over, but what if it was? Well, what's wrong with that? The only trouble is that in my case, I can't do the right thing. I can't ask for your number and say I'll phone. I can't call up next weekend and ask for a date. I thought I'd explain the situation in case you misunderstood and I hurt your feelings.
You won't call again?
No, I can't. You see, I've got strings on me, Laura. I've been going steady. I go out all the time with a girl named Betty. And she's a nice, quiet home girl like you, and Catholic and Irish, and in a great many ways, we get along fine. We met on a moonlight boat trip up the river to Alton on the Majestic, and right away from the start was love. You know, being in love has made a new man of me. Power of love is pretty tremendous. Love is something that just changes the whole world. Oh, boy. Well, anyway, it happened that Betty's aunt took sick, and she got a wire and had to go to Centralia. So naturally, when Tom asked me to dinner, naturally I accepted the invitation, not knowing... I mean... not knowing. I wish you'd say something. What are you doing that for? You mean you want me to have him? What for?
Souvenir.
Lemonade, lemonade, made in the shade and stirred with a spade, and then it's good enough for any old maid. You know that song, Mr. O'Connor?
No, ma'am, I never heard it.
Why are you so serious, honey?
Well, we were having a serious conversation.
I don't understand modern young people. When I was a girl, I was gay all the time.
You haven't changed a bit, Miss Mink.
Maybe it's the gaiety of the occasion that has rejuvenated me. Well, here's to the gaiety of the occasion. Oh, I baptized myself. I found some cherries in the kitchen. I'll put one in each glass.
You shouldn't have gone to all that trouble, ma'am.
No trouble at all. Did you hear us cutting up out in the kitchen? I was so outdone with Tom for not bringing you over sooner. But now that you've found your way, I want you to come all the time. Not just once in a while, but all the time. Oh, I think I'll go back in that kitchen.
Oh, no, please don't go, ma'am. As a matter of fact, I've got to be going.
Oh, Mr. O'Connor, it's only the shank of the evening.
You know how it is.
You mean you're a young working man. You have to keep working men's hours.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, we'll let you off early this time, but only on condition that you stay later next time, much later. What's best night for you, Saturday?
Well, as a matter of fact, I have a couple of time clocks to punch, Miss Wingfield. One in the morning and another one at night.
Isn't that nice? You're so ambitious. You work at night, too.
Well, not work, ma'am, but, Betty.
Betty? Who's Betty?
Oh, just a girl I go steady with.
You mean it's serious?
We're going to be married second Sunday in June.
Tom didn't say anything at all about you going to be married.
Well, the cat's not out of the bag at the warehouse yet. You know how they are. They call you Romeo and stuff like that. Well, Miss Wingfield, it's been a wonderful evening. I guess this is what they mean by Southern hospitality.
It was nothing at all.
I hope it don't seem like I'm rushing off, but I promised Betty I'd pick her up at the Wabash Depot, and by the time I get my jalopy down there, her train will be in. Some women are pretty upset if you keep waiting.
I know all about the tyranny of women. Well, goodbye, Mr. O'Connor. I wish you happiness and good fortune. You wish him that, too, don't you, Laura?
Yes, I do, Mother.
Goodbye, Laura. I'll always treasure the souvenir. And don't forget the good advice I gave you. So long, Shakespeare. Thanks again, ladies. Good night.
Things have a way of turning out so badly. I don't believe that I would play that Victrola. Well, well, well. Our gentleman caller was engaged to be married. Paul?
Yes, Mother?
Come out here. I want to tell you something very funny.
Has our gentleman caller gotten away already?
Our gentleman caller made a very early departure. That was a nice joke you played on us, too.
How do you mean?
You didn't mention that he was engaged to be married.
Jim? Engaged?
That's what it just informed us.
I'll be jiggered. I didn't know.
That seems very peculiar.
What's peculiar about it?
Didn't you tell me that he was your best friend down at the warehouse?
He is, but how did I know?
It seems very peculiar that you didn't know that your best friend was engaged to be married.
The warehouse is where I work, not where I know things about people.
You don't know things anywhere. You live in a dream. You manufacture illusions.
Oh.
Where you going? Where you going? Where you going?
I'm going to the movies.
That's right. Now that you've had us make such fools of ourselves, the effort, the preparation, all the expense, the new floor lamp, the rug, the clothes for Laura, all for what? To entertain some other girl's fiancé. Go to the movies, go. Don't think about us, a mother deserted, an unmarried sister who's crippled and has no job. Don't let anything interfere with your selfish pleasure. Just go to the movies.
All right, I will. And the more you shout at me about my selfish pleasure, the faster I'll go. And I won't go to the movies either.
Go then. Then go to the moon, you selfish dreamer.
I didn't go to the moon. I went much farther. For time is the longest distance between two places. I left St. Louis and followed from then on in my father's footsteps, attempting to find in motion what was lost in space. I traveled around a great deal. The city swept about me like dead leaves, leaves that were brightly colored but torn away from the branches. I would have stopped, but I was pursued by something. Perhaps I am walking along a street at night in some strange city before I have found companions, and then all at once my sister touches my shoulder. I turn around and look into her eyes. Oh, Laura. Laura, I've tried to leave you behind me, but I am more faithful than I intended to be. I reach for a cigarette. I buy a drink. I talk to the nearest stranger. Anything that can blow your candles out. For nowadays, the world is lit by lightning. Blow out your candles, Laura. And so, goodbye.